Welcome in, everybody. Trust the Profits right here on YouTube. It is Kentucky Derby week, and the two biggest Sovereignty fans are in the house for the
Yes, sir.
2025 Derby Contender Series to talk about not your favorite. I think journalism will go off as your
Yep.
favorite. And as
Rightfully
Sean
so.
said on our live stream, Sandman's going to be taking a lot of money. So maybe we
Rightfully
can
so.
get better than that 5-1 on Sovereignty. Sean, he's been 1-2 for us in our top 10 for a long time. He's actually been in my top 2 since his big race last year. And Sovereignty, what are your thoughts? Is he still your horse?
Absolutely. As our buddy Travis Stone said right after the Florida Derby, he said, not only did the connections of Sovereignty get out of the race what they wanted, but your odds went up too. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to bet Sovereignty, you're not going to get 3-1. You're not going to get 5-2. You're going to get like 6-7-1, and you could clean house. Now I got the futures at 20-1, so I'm hoping a little bit, but I'm saying, but 6-7-1 on Sovereignty, mighty juicy.
I have some
Exactly.
beautiful futures going into Sovereignty. I'm talking 120, 180 to 1, both Oaks
That's
double,
awesome.
Derby double, and then I've also got Sovereignty, a lot of the exacta key boxes. So with some horses that have made the gate, including Sandman. So a little Sovereignty over Sandman would be great for
Well,
me. Sean, I think the Florida region to me is the most battle tested, and I think the biggest results have come out of those races. Obviously, Tapan Street is now out. River Thames is out. But you saw horses such as Madaket Road come into Florida, finished second in the Rebel, but then come over to Florida and run fourth in the Florida Derby. Burnham
yep,
Square is a horse who won the Holy Bull, finished fourth in the Fountain of Youth, and then goes and wins the Bluegrass. I think
yep,
that Bluegrass might be a key race for the Florida horses, including River Thames, who finished third in there. You have Neo Equus, who also is coming out of this region. So
yep.
that, for me, although we'll talk about the concerns for Sovereignty, he's the best horse coming from the Florida region, and I think Florida was the best region overall. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I couldn't agree more. I definitely think they were the strongest region, and history usually says that Florida is the strongest. Yeah, coming. I know it's been some California, but Florida has historically been the most. It's kind of like the Oaks with the girls in the fairgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Historically, Florida has been the strongest route to the Kentucky Derby in history, and I don't think this year is any different.
Last time out, Sovereignty finished second in that Florida Derby. He already had the points to qualify for the Kentucky Derby, and he also didn't have his regular rider, Junior Alvarado, aboard on that day, who had gotten hurt the week prior. And so, therefore, Sovereignty, in my opinion, was going to pass Tapan Street if that race was any longer. So you see the second there in the Florida Derby, trained by Bill Mott. Junior Alvarado is back aboard. Sean, he's got that one victory at Churchill Downs in the Street Sense, which we also think is a pretty key race. What have you heard from Junior Alvarado regarding his ride here?
Oh, he told me, and he will not switch places with any horse coming into this race. He truly believes this is the best horse that he's ever ridden. And think of that now. Cody's Wish. He's had the Ellen J. Foxwoods horse that came in second. He's ridden some pretty nice horses over and the Saudi Cup winner, and he thinks this is his best horse by far. And he wouldn't change. He's even got an ice cream place in New York, sponsoring him this week. So he is definitely very confident in this race. Manny Franco, very interesting when he rode this horse. He said that horse didn't even like this track. He didn't even like Gulfstream, right? He was not a fan of it. He wins the Fountain of Youth and comes in second in the Florida Derby. He didn't even like the track. So Manny said, "My God, this horse didn't like. He was fighting me the whole way, and he still ran huge." He said, "Watch out in Churchill." So that's an endorsement, not just from Junior, but Manny Franco is like, man, if he likes Churchill, he's going to be really tough.
Sovereignty, his debut race was up at Saratoga in August, where he finished fourth behind Tip Top Thomas. He came back at Belmont at Aqueduct in September, finished second, losing by a neck. Then he broke his maiden in that aforementioned Street Sense, the grade 3, and won the grade 2 Fountain of Youth before finishing second in the Florida Derby. You talked about the connections. Here are the connections and how they've done in the Kentucky Derby. Bill Mott has had 13 runners, including Country House in 2019, and a third place finish with Tacitus in 2019. Junior hasn't hit the board yet.
Right.
See the horse he's been on. I actually liked Tax a lot back in
Yeah.
2018. I loved
Sure.
Mohiman as well. That was his best finish in the fourth place in 2016. Out of those runners, though, I would say Sovereignty is absolutely the one that he comes into this race with his best shot at winning.
Yes. No doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt. And so this is the concern I have. There's two concerns, Sean. We talked a little bit off screen. I use Equibase speed figures. They're a little light, in my opinion. When you have horses like Journalism putting up 108s and 109s, Florida Derby, Sovereignty earned a 94. Like we talked about, that I think that could be a little, I think he could have gone faster maybe if he needed the race, if he had his own jockey aboard. So there's some questions there. Fountain of Youth got a 99. A Street Sense, he got a 93. But you have horses like Final Gambit, who's broken 101. Tistastic has 100. Journalism has a 108. Rodriguez a 105 in the Wood. Burnham Square's done a 101. Sandman's done a 101. All these other horses have put up at least 100. So if there's a concern I have, that's the first one, is the speed figures. Is there any concern for you?
Valid. No, there's a valid concern. I do think the 93 on the Churchill Downs surface of all these horses, he's run the best race on Churchill Downs. Which now I know Rich Strike had a 102 on the track, but he did win. And he was one of the only ones that had won on Churchill Downs track. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a major positive, but you are right. The numbers, if you're not just a pure numbers person, I do think sometimes the numbers in California are inflated. Like I do Woodbine Mohawk a lot in the harness races, and Meadowlands numbers always somehow to be faster than the Mohawk horses. But when they come up to Mohawk, they always seem to lose to the Mohawk horses on the track, even though they're running faster times. You know what I'm saying? So I think some tracks tend to inflate their numbers, where Gulfstream usually seems to be a little bit lower than other people. You don't get a lot of hundreds down at Gulfstream Park. So I would definitely read into that a little bit. But I think you are right. On numbers, he does have to improve.
And don't forget, I know this is a video about Sovereignty, but American Promise is a nice price horse, the number 5, who has 3 races over the Churchill Downs surface and has an 87 and an 88. So not far behind that 93.
Not far. No.
I know this is a Sovereignty video, but I'm high on American Promise. And
it is. Yeah.
We'll slip that in. We'll have
even Burnham Square, very, very solid race on Churchill Downs. So he's one on the surface too. So
yeah, it's absolutely something that you want to pay attention to. And then Sean, the other concern, Sovereignty, man, when he comes down the stretch, boy, does he gallop it? Does he pick up ground fast? I mean, his stride is just like he's making up lengths on horses. It looks like he's not even moving, but his style is to fall so far behind in the Kentucky Derby with 20 other horses in the fields. That can be a concern. It doesn't matter how fast you are if you can't get by 5 horses who are in your way. That's another concern. I think the post has helped him out.
Yes, I think tremendously, because what it will do is he will stay out of the major riffraff. Like the junior can get. He has the nice thing about him too. If you really like this, is the fact that Owen Almighty will be going out from the outside. He has no choice. Cole Battle, who is on his inside, will be going out. You know what I'm saying? So him and Sandman can just kind of sit kind of back. You don't have to come out of the gate. They can kind of remember it's 5/8 of a mile to the turn, so they can get some position. You know what I'm saying? Avoid the riffraff, just get it in a good position, and then exactly. See, he's illustrating right here. 18, 19, 20. They're kind of on their own right now. They're not getting killed. If he can just go backwards but save some ground and get in there, he'll be very tough coming down the stretch. As long as he doesn't get in trouble. But again, he does have to pass a lot of tired horses. If there's a barbecue up front, there's some horses that are going to be coming back to them, and then you're going to have to avoid that. You're going to have to clean trip, but he can do it,
Yeah, I think the goal is get in as close as you can for that first turn to save ground, because I think on that second turn, you're going to want to be out in the clear. And if he is out in the clear and he's within a shot, has enough ground to close on wherever the leaders are at, he's going to be eating up ground like there's no tomorrow. You and I have had him on top for a while. I, at least as of right now, am not changing, and neither is Sean.
Nope.
So from at least what are we? 38% of the trust the profits, so
Yes,
or 50%
exactly. Yep.
their own sovereignty, and that is Sean and I for now. And we'll have another video on American Promise coming up this week. Let us
Yes.
know in the comments section your thoughts
Yeah, let
on
us know.
sovereignty. I think he's going to be a nice value, a nice price for you on Kentucky Derby Day. It's officially Kentucky Derby week. Please stick to the channel, like and subscribe. We've got live streams, Contender Series videos, and we'll be with you live on Kentucky Derby Day. He's Sean. I'm Colin. Until next time, everybody, good luck.
See you guys.